Good evening, Zimbabwe. My name is Acie Lumumba. Welcome to ZiFM Stereo. These are the Lumumba Files. It's the first episode. I promise you this is going to be the most important program for you to tune in between now and when we get to Zimbabwean elections. I will always have my studio sidekick. His name is Begottensun, son of God, son of son. Say good evening to the people, KUDA.
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is me, KUDA. How you doing? Really happy to be here. Acie, you're hot right now.
Oh, you know.
Zimbabwean politics is
We're going to make sure we make it fun, okay? So here's how the show works. If you're at home, if you're watching, if you're watching us on Facebook, if you're listening to us on the radio, make sure you go to the Twitter account. My Twitter account is at Acie Lumumba. The hashtag will be hashtag TFL. So this is how it works. You know, if you've been following Zimbabwean politics, right, you would notice it's like one big, I don't know if I should call it a circus or if I should call it wakambona ukaenda kuchikoro kweta like inter-schools yezvikoro zviri kufoira. This is what's happening in Zimbabwean politics right now. We're like a big inter-schools of zvikoro zviri kufoira, where all political parties are contesting to see who can act a fool the most. So we're going to be looking at the events of the political setup in the country. I have a very special guest today, somebody who I have been following a lot, and I think you guys have been following as well. She's probably one of the most spoken about women in Zimbabwean politics right now, outside of Thokozani Kupe. It is Thokozani Kupe's spokesperson, Madam Linda Masarira. Welcome to ZiFM Stereo. Say hello to everybody.
Thank you very much, Acie. How are you, listeners, viewers on Facebook? I think this is going to be an exciting show.
Good. I want to ask you something, Linda. Right? So this is the question I have. When you look at the craziness happening in ZANU-PF, when you look at the craziness happening in MDC A and MDC B and C and all of them, who do you think has the most drama? Like, drama competition. Which political party has the most drama in Zimbabwe right now?
I think it's ZANU-PF. I think it has got the most drama. It has always had a lot of drama. It has always been the craziest party. So it is still ZANU-PF.
So ZANU-PF would take the awards for the craziest party in Zimbabwe right now. But let me tell you something. So a lot of people know this, right? So I am clearly ZANU-PF. A lot of people know that. And this is why I bring guests into the studio who are not clearly ZANU-PF, so we can always have this balanced. I have never seen the type of things I am seeing in ZANU-PF right now. I mean, I remember the general coming on, was it November 5th, the first day of the 14 days in November, when General S.B. Moyo came out on TV and said, we are removing and we're targeting the criminals around the president. That was his statement. And I almost feel as if now what has happened is the people have now removed the other criminals that were around this president. So ZANU-PF criminal are around the president. Could I tell me your take on what's happening in ZANU-PF politics? We'll start with ZANU-PF. Don't worry, we'll talk about everybody else. But I want to know, what is your take on what is happening in ZANU-PF politics right now?
You know what? The ZANU-PF primary elections, to me, I was really excited about them. I thought this was a time for us to see the grand old machinery of Zimbabwe, the biggest party of our country, rolling out and showing us their members, their cells, and coming out and voting for their chosen candidates. I thought we'd see some of the big wigs show their muscle, the Chris Mutrangwas and so forth. What I got in the long run was quite disappointed. All of my predictions on Twitter actually fell flat, considering that it was a bit of a shambles. It was not the smooth operating machine that we were so used to, but I think that may also be in its way of own cleansing. They're cleansing themselves. It was good to see some of the young people who got in. It's good to see
No. That's the wrong word.
but I'm happy. I'm very, very happy.
Linda doesn't like the word Njapisi. Do you don't like the word Njapisi?
No, that is very sexist.
Yes.
And I think that is one of the major reasons why I've got a problem with all the men in politics in Zimbabwe.
Right.
We have to get to a stage where we respect women.
Right.
Where we give them their space. And I'm actually very angry right now that as much as I hate ZANU-PF, they failed to field at least 40% female candidates in the primaries. And then now I've got my brother here, KUDA, calling them Jumpisi. I mean, every woman has got the right to be.
Not all of them were Njapis, but the ones that we know were Njapis were Njapis.
I mean, it's almost the word you only expect out of Temba Maleswa, but...
No, like seriously, who calls? Okay, wait, KUDA. Who calls the men who sleep around in Japisi? We've got ED with more than 50 children. Who talks about that? We've got a lot of men. We've got Acie here who even speaks out boldly that he's a womanizer. So why do you have to call another woman who's actually trying to make a difference and trying to run for political office at Japisi? I mean, that's wrong.
Okay, hold on, guys. Let me help the conversation. Okay, we're analyzing what is happening in ZANU-PF primaries, not who is which woman or who is what in Japisi. Okay, let's keep it focused. Linda, tell me. Okay, so you look at what's happening in ZANU-PF, and it's so easy for political parties to throw stones at what's happening in ZANU-PF because they haven't gone through their own primary elections yet. But I think there's a real underlying issue I want to ask you of here, which is the cause of everything happening in ZANU-PF is it's a contest of people who believe either they are sacrosanct, anointed to lead, or they should lead, or the people should love them anyway. How do we deal with this handicap where you politicians you are forcing yourselves onto the people? You're experiencing this in your own party where there is, whichever faction it is in your party is forcing itself in the people. How are we dealing with this issue of Mkudakumuzmanikidzira pavanu?
Okay, thank you for the question, Acie. I think that is one of the other main reasons why I decided to join Dr. Kope.
Right.
Because we've got a clear a template on candidate selection.
Okay.
We've got a clear template that we're not going to be subscribing to politics of patronage, but we're going to be looking for quality leaders who are going to be chosen by the people in their wards, in their constituencies.
So you're going to go to 210 constituencies?
Yes, we are. We're actually in the process of doing that. Because, you see, if we don't understand the underlying problems in Zimbabwe, we're not doing justice to ourselves, for posterity, and for future generations to come. The biggest problem we have had in this country is politics of loyalty, politics of patronage. And when we go back to the question that you've asked about ZANU-PF, there is nothing new about the chaos and the disorderly conduct that's there. That has been the branding. Wait, Acie. That has been ZANU-PF's brand. The only thing that has changed is that the G40 that had a bit of order in the chaosness is no longer there. There was actually, I think Chiwenga and Mnangagwa actually thought that by removing 4 individuals, they had gotten rid of G40. Right. But G40 is a system. We all know that. That is why now they're failing even to have orderly conduct of things.
I mean, that's very rich coming from MDC Tokozari Coupe, you know. I mean, that is so rich that I mean, for you to even speak the word conduct, I mean, it's very rich. But let me ask this. ZANU-PF has a history of behaving this way, you say. MDC does not have a history of behaving this way, you say. So maybe mweya we ZANU-PF wahakira manje by MDC, because lately, Linda, MDC is behaving see, I would almost want to say like ZANU-PF, but I feel like ZANU-PF is my level. So I don't know if I can get you to that level yet. But MDC is behaving more disorganized than we have ever seen you.
Which MDC are you talking about here?
Oh, you
right.
See,
okay. Oh, right. Sorry, because there's a lot.
For my side, from Dr. Cooper's side, I to say that we're disorganized is an understatement. Because we are organized. Right. We have refused to be an isophomic mimicry of ZANU-PF. We have refused to be a violent party. We have actually ensured that we are going to abide to Section 56 of the Constitution, which speaks to gender equality. And you're going to see that after we're done with our candidate selection, after we're done with our primaries where we are not going to have efficient consensus building, we are actually going to ensure that there is proper order and proper primary elections where principles of fairness and justice are actually upheld.
I want to ask you something.
Go ahead, bro.
Do you think the chaos in the other MDCs, because the chaos is not in MDC Coupe, it's only in the other MDCs, does this benefit ZANU-PF or does this benefit the MDC? Who wins out of the chaos happening in the opposition?
Let me tell you who loses, my brother. It's the people of Zimbabwe lose. You see, for a functioning democracy to run and run effectively, it needs an effective, functioning democratic opposition party. You know, it's almost as if we wish that the opposition got together, spoke, put aside their differences and actually gave a united opposition front, so we can actually have policy, so we can actually have a shadow minister of finance, a shadow minister of health, you know, so we can actually start having policy arguments rather than this personality nonsense that we're bogged down with now as young Zimbabweans. I think it's where nobody wins. I think the Zimbabwean population is the one that is losing, brother.
Linda, I say you are, as MDC Thokozani Kupe's MDC, you are literally ZANU-PF's campaign managers, because everything you are doing is causing ZANU-PF. You are actually ZANU-PF surviving card. ZANU-PF is surviving because opposition is in complete chaos. MDC Thokozani Kupe, today I read a statement from Obet Gutu saying there is no chance that MDC Kupe is going to get into a conversation with MDC Chamisa, let alone the other MDCs, on how you're going to work together. So you've drawn the line that you are not going to work together. This works to ZANU-PF's advantage. I'm trying to understand. Kuta muziere amunzwisisere, or you want ZANU-PF to actually win?
At least you said Obet Gutu. You didn't say the national spokesperson of the MDCT.
Right.
Because I am the official person who speaks to the official position of the party.
This is fantastic.
Exactly.
The vice president said one thing and the spokesperson is about to say another.
So what I'm basically saying here is we haven't gotten to a stage where we have sitting down and actually said, who are we going to talk to about coalitions? Are we running it alone and everything else? So you are basing that from a tweet, and I'm not going to comment about a tweet.
I'm basing it from a statement.
From your vice
just
president.
Because it came out on Twitter doesn't mean it's not a statement. Twitter is a platform. I am basing it on a statement by the vice president of your party. Kategoti Kari said.
And I am also stating that with good authority that the official position on what we are going to do as a party will actually come out as a statement by the national spokesperson of the party who speaks to the position of the party.
Would you go into a coalition with ZANU-PF?
Never.
You see, this is my problem, Acie. Yeah? If you can see the South Koreans and North Koreans holding hands on the demilitarized zone in a country where millions died fighting that war, we have these broad lines of I will never speak to anybody else. I think that is the sad thing about Zimbabwean politics, that crazy polarization.
Well, okay, so Linda says she will never go into a coalition with ZANU-PF. So I'm guessing you agreed this at your Congress? I mean, where did that position come from? Is that you as the spokesperson? I mean, is that an official position from the party? You're kind of already in coalition with ZANU-PF, by the way, but please go ahead.
Kind of coalition do we have?
You're coalition whereby you are helping, you are keeping ZANU-PF stable.
No, what you're trying to say here is you're trying to put words into my mouth.
No,
no, Acie.
Your mouth.
No, Acie, hold on. We are a party that is defending constitutionalism, that is defending labor rights, labor justice, social justice. And that is what we're standing for.
May I pick up the Constitution quickly?
Wait.
It's important we could pick up the Constitution, my sister. You know I love you a lot. Huh? Constitutionally speaking, you're supposed to be in the MDCT for 5 years before you're appointed as the spokesperson. How did that happen?
Congress elects leaders.
Right.
Congress is the supreme decision-making body at any party, wherever it is in the world. So Congress made their decisions. They nominated and elected Linda Masarira as the spokesperson.
Despite the party constitution So is it not then crazy to then talk about party constitutionalism categorically?
For me right now, I can't even speak about what happened in the closed session of the Congress because I was not a part of it. But there there are things that happened in there that I'm not yet privy to talk about right now because this is a case that is still in the courts of law in Zimbabwe, and I cannot be speaking about it on a radio program, and we have to respect that.
I think you just copped out, my sister. I thought this was the no spin zone, Acie.
You know what I think? I think politicians in this country, and we're gonna take a little break and we'll deal with this. I think politicians in this country take advantage of people. They take advantage of people's ignorance, people's stupidity, people's lack of knowledge in order for personal gain. And I'm going to, as soon as we come back, I want you to tell me that this is not true and tell me how. And I think politicians will say anything, they will do anything for the supreme gain of power. And this is what we're seeing. I mean, Themba Mliswa will on one hand say, I am ZANU-PF campaigner in Norton, on another hand say, I am not ZANU-PF. Like, I don't know to demonstrate a dzungu. Regulatiza kuti ndine dzungu, but as long as dzungu rangu richinunzira something, ndinoita. You will have again Nelson Chamisa will come out and you will say, I am the leader of MDC for the purpose of pushing their agenda as a group. Likewise, Thokozani Kupe. Mchangwa today shocked me. I mean, Mchangwa wrote a letter on a national letterhead. He writes a letter to a political party saying mandibiri randarowa nezigure usiku, and I refuse to accept. So I want to talk about, do politicians in this country actually, are you just taking this country for a ride? Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Acie Lumumba. You're listening to ZiFM Stereo. These are the Lumumba Files. I have in the studio with me the spokesperson of MDC, Thokozani Kupe led, and I have in the studio with me Begottensun, the host of the Tea Party. I've just asked a question before we took a break, and the question was, are politicians in this country just taking the people of this country on a ride? Saka maZimbabwean arungoendeswa chero kwa ngonzi handei, even pasina kwatiri kuenda kusina end. And I am giving Linda the opportunity to respond as the spokesperson of MDC Kupe. Linda, please.
I will speak for my party. We are not taking people for a ride. We are actually committed to ensuring sustainable human development, and we want to go back to the fundamentals of ensuring that every Zimbabwean has got equal opportunities to everything in this country. For a very long time, we've had politicians selling a dummy to the electorate. People are told things, fantasies during the election time period. There are a lot of manifestos which are actually laid out, but they're never implemented. We have had policies which have never been implemented in this country. But we are saying we cannot continue taking people for a ride. And then there comes the question where people always ask me, why did you dump Chamisa at the last minute? And I've always responded and said, if it's you, Acie, you've got your girlfriend, you've engaged, and then you realize maybe 2 nights before your wedding date that your girlfriend is actually sleeping with your best friend, would you continue with the marriage? So people have to understand that there are a lot of...
So Chamisa was your boyfriend?
I didn't say Chamisa was my boyfriend. It's an example. It's an example,
right. I'm
Acie.
sorry. Okay. I just want the listeners to be clear.
Chamisa is my brother. No, it's an example that I was giving to show that there are some decisions that have to be made, even if you had made a prior commitment. So what I'm basically saying is we don't have to hate each other because we've got different political ideologies or different political preferences, and we all have to find our ways to actually ensure that the people of Zimbabwe are saved.
But how does a person know?
Wait, Acie. So what I'm basically saying is, I have the freedom of assembly and association, and it is wrong for people to be very judgmental in a democratic state. What we've been trying to fight for in Zimbabwe since 2000, the legacy that the late Dr. Morgan Richard Rutsvangirai left was the democratization agenda. Okay. And that is what we are still fighting for in 2018.
That's fantastic, Linda, except that's not the question. And I'm glad you got a chance to explain it, because I'm sure there's some people who wanted you to answer the question you've asked yourself. The question was, taking the people of this country on a ride. If I am a Zimbabwean voter and I am an 18-year-old young man who's just finished my high school, about to go to university, how do I look at MDC Thokozani Kupe-led and say you are not taking me for a ride? What's the litmus test to this? And I'll tell you, let me put it in context. ZANU-PF tomorrow launches its manifesto, okay? And I'm sure the manifesto is going to have excellent ideas on how we should move this country forward. I'm sure you're going to launch a manifesto with excellent ideas on how to move this country forward. But there is absolutely no consequence to you not doing it when you don't do it. ZANU-PF has been in power, yes. There's no consequence to what they did not do if there is something they didn't do. I'm sure they created the 2.2 million jobs. Finally, they were created by my election because candidate. So the jobs were finally created. But Linda, how do people know that you are not taking me for a ride in this election?
People should actually play an active role in politics.
How do they do that?
They should hold their leaders to account.
How?
They should.
How?
Well, I just tried, Acie. I asked her how she managed to get nominated as spokes without being in the party structures for 5 years, and she will not give me an answer. So I can't even hold you to account as my leader, sister.
Why can't you hold me to account?
Well,
I told you that Congress is the supreme decision-making body, and they made their decision.
So the Congress broke the law?
Which law?
That you were supposed to be there for 5 years. I don't know why I keep
it's actually not in the Constitution. Can you show me where it's written? It's actually a template that was designed by the former organizing secretary, who happens now to be the president of the party. It was actually a template. It's not in the Constitution. If it's in the Constitution, can you open it and show me where it is written?
I don't think it really matters how you got in. Linda, support. I am glad you're in, because, and I'll tell you why. One of the reasons I support you, Linda, is you're one of the females in this country who's decided over many years now to step out and challenge the status quo. You get attacked a lot and you get a lot of flack for wazwendo. But I mean, it's a jungle you're operating in. There's no real rules in this game called politics. Ingori bata wabata. Panondi bowa ne panondi rwadza ndepe kuti. Amai ambuya vari kumusha varima tobacco yavo. Vanoona politician anoyowa pama-inputs achiti takupai nekuti ndezvemusangano or for political gain vachiitiswa. How do we stop kahunu kekuitisa vanhu? And I need you to tell the people of Zimbabwe, Linda, kuti iwewe, what are the security measures kuti hamusida kuti rova bhegi? At least rese, all right. Rova imbichana but kwete rese.
Wataura zvakanaka kuti mune kahunu kekuitiswa muno muZimbabwe. And izvozvo ndo zvinhu zvananga ndiri kurwira over the years, and that is what I'm still fighting kuti vanhu havafani kuitiswa. That is why ndichigarawo ndichitaura kuti munhu ukaona uchienda kunovhota kuti wapiwa 2 bond, kana kuti wapiwa rice, kana kuti wadii, usingatarise ramangwana ako ndione problem. Ukaona uchienda kunovhotera zvinhu zvisingakubenefit, things that do not benefit you at all, that does not even uplift your quality of life, then you actually have a problem, because you have to listen to the messages that are coming out. But if you are taken by the euphoria and you want to vote because of the euphoria and the fantasies and people who are playing 48 laws of power on you, then the problem is yours. Because iwewe munhu unofana kuziva zvinhu zvokukutambudza, unofana kuziva nhamo yako, kuti vari kutaura zvinhu zvinoresonata newe ndiani, who is resonating to your issues, who is resonating to your problems, and who will get you out of the quagmire that you're in. But if you fail to do that and you want to vote for freebies, you will continue suffering.
We got 3 minutes to go, and I want to be able to give both of you guys a chance to speak. So, Linda, let me ask you something. So, as a woman in politics, a lot of the times when you speak, you're very passionate. Are you angry?
No, I'm naturally aggressive. I am naturally aggressive. You know that, Acie, even when we have our conversation. Those are the story. My voice just naturally changes. You know what? It's not even about jambanja. I also have that problem with my mother. Even even at a very tender age. That's just me. That's
so
just who I am.
You're not an angry.
I'm not an angry person woman at all. I'm a happy people.
KUDA, when you look at the political landscape and their MDC especially, what do you see and you think it's such a missed opportunity that Linda and her group has right now?
Well, look, I'm hoping that MDCT Coupe and MDCT Chamisa find each other. They have to find each other soon. I think the missed opportunity for our generation right now is to make a government in waiting. I don't think we have proved to our fathers even that we are ready to take over from the current status quo. And I think it's really important that as a generation we find each other, we do the right thing, we uphold constitutionalism, and we prove that we as Zimbabweans, we are the most civilized, educated people on the planet. Thank you very much for coming, Linda. Congratulations on your position as spokes.
All right, so tomorrow ZANU-PF launches its manifesto. We'll be breaking that down. We'll be understanding what that means. MDC is about to roll out its primary elections. Once that action starts to take course, we'll be into that too. MDC is also about to finish up its battle in court for us to understand which MDC is finally going to be the MDC that leads. But the big one is there is money on the table. MDC Chamisa has already taken $1 million+ from Treasury that has been given to political parties. MDC Coupe wants a piece of the cake, and they're right now fighting for it. Sometime last week, at least Chamisa begi. But next week, we'll be dealing with those issues. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Lumumba Files. Every week, we will be coming to help you navigate yourself through the upcoming Zimbabwean elections. Catch me on Sunday on Facebook Live as I do the Lumumba Sunday Live Files. Good evening, Zimbabwe.